Okay, time is now 7:12 p.m. I would like to call to order the early zoning board of appeals meeting of March 12th. Yes, March 12th, 2026. Do I have a motion to open the meeting? Motion by Alex Mara, seconds by Harris Snyder. All board members present in favor of opening the meeting, show of hands or verbal aye. All board members present in favor, none opposed. Guess we don't have to state that nobody's missing since we are currently a 6-member board. An absentee 7. Okay. Will everybody please stand and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. So the first thing we do is the public comment portion, which members of the public are encouraged and allowed to comment on anything that is on our agenda. However, if we do have a public hearing for something that a public member of the public is willing to speak on, there will be time during the public hearing for that matter. So at this time, are there any members of the public present in the audience that would like to address the board about anything on the agenda? Call going once. Going twice. Third time. I would like to make a motion to open and close the public hearing comment section of the meeting. Second. I think he had you by one, but he didn't second it. So the second is by Alex. All board members present in favor of opening and closing public comment section of the meeting. Verbal action. All board members present in favor, none opposed. Okay, let's get into it. First item before us on the agenda is the public hearing set for 7:05 p.m. Well, that's this is the public hearing for the use variance at 250 Spillway Road. Board members present at the last meeting will remember this as there is an application before us that they are seeking to do a 7 residential unit dwellings as opposed to the allowed 3 that is currently involved in the zoning code. This was well presented to us beforehand, and might as well open the public hearing. So I would like to at this time make a motion to open the public hearing on this application. Do I have a second? Second by Kara Snyder. All board members in favor of opening the public hearing on this open the public hearing. Verbal aye, show of hands. All board members present in favor, none opposed. Okay, so Matt, I know you presented us the application before, explained what your
We're vessel. Oh, he's a.
Turn around, looking ready.
I couldn't tell if you're looking at her or me.
Excellent. So you can readdress the board and just re-present your application at this time, or for anybody that's present that is here from the public, you know, they can hear your application, ask questions. We'll entertain their questions, and we'll also read any submissions or correspondence they've had.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me back again. And my name is Lauren Balling. I'm here with my partner this time, Chris Burkett. He is a local builder from Accord, and he and I have purchased this about 2 years ago. And as you all know, it's been a 3-unit building that's been vacant for a very long time. We bought it vacant. My understanding is that it was vacant for at least 6 years prior to that. It was the operational restaurant, which was the Spillway Inn, and it was Terrapin, I think it's something.
That's years ago.
Okay, so there's lots of really great stories about this. And my understanding is that it was a very beloved space. It was a lot of use for that site because it's only 1.2 acres. And so our request now, when we bought the property, we were actually thinking about, doing something in the hospitality sector. And it would be a very heavy lift given the location and the cost. So we then, really thought a little bit more deeply about what the needs are in the community. As I mentioned before, I was working in Ulster County for 12 years. Worked with many artists who could not stay at the organization when the studio workshop because they had no housing. And I started doing other residential projects and realized that this is a very important need, particularly in this community where there are no rentals. So when we looked at the highest and best use for this lot, we determined that using the existing footprint, so with no expansion of the existing footprint, we could put in about 7 units. And that combination of 7 units is 5 2-bedrooms and 2 1-bedrooms. So the reason why it can handle that expansion is because right now it's a little bit hodgepodge. You have a 2-story and then it kicks out in the back, and then you have these additions that were built on for coolers and other kinds of restaurant equipment. So using the floor plan that already exists, our plan is to change the entrance of the building from having an entrance really on the spillway to pivoting the building this way and having the entrance on the east side and having the building just go up 2 stories to accommodate the 7 units. Right now, we're working with CPC. We've been working with them for, 6 months. They are willing to fund the project. Now, of course, if we work with CPC, then that is really tied to this being an affordable housing project. We can't get funding from the CPC, sell the project and put in a commercial loan and then convert it back to market rate. So we are working very closely with CPC at the moment. We don't have a loan agreement because we can't do that until we have approval. But it is our intention to create affordable housing. Rent ranges from 2,100 to 1,600 across those 7 units. And that really is it makes it so that it's worth doing the project. It's not like a crazy profitable project, but it's a really meaningful project. And we think that we've done thoughtful design. And so we hope you feel the same way.
So, yeah. Thank you very much. Are there any members of the public here this evening that are here to comment on this?
So you're just gonna raise the structure, basically,
Yeah,
high.
we're gonna go higher, 2 full stories. And it will look different on the outside, of course, and we're changing the front entrance.
Right.
So it's gonna have a different roof line as well. It's gonna have a
So when
butterfly
you
roof.
do have
Chris can
imagery,
speak to that if
we
we
are
need to.
interested. Are you interested in seeing imagery?
We have images.
No, I know the building because I very
Here's
good
the
friends who
rendering.
live 2 doors down and I've passed it so many times. Oh, that's the new
Yeah,
structure.
that's a new structure.
What's the height of the new structure? Proposed new structure? The height?
No.
It's not gonna go up any further than the existing.
Oh, I thought you were adding on.
So we're not
No,
adding to so basically, it's gonna be 2 stories all the way around.
Okay,
There's already second.
It's an
story.
existing.
okay.
It's an
Oh,
existing
so there are
2-story.
parts of it that there are no second story, so you're making.
Yeah,
Got it.
expanding into.
The footprint's the footprint's gonna remain the same.
Do you want me to go down?
There's just a lot of additions and on it now that are single story. So it's basically gonna go 2 stories all the way around, but in the same footprint that is there.
So does the old structure get demolished?
No.
It's adapted. To use.
The lot is actually really deep. It's a rectangle, it's a very deep rectangle, so you can't really tell in this rendering, but the property goes up quite a bit, such that even walking up it is a little bit, treacherous is not the word, but it's like you want to be wearing appropriate shoes. So the lot has limitations, right? Because there's only so much, where do you go parking? Where do you put your septic? Right? So it really, in a way, unless you really tore that original structure down and then did some kind of excavation going back, even if you were to build like a single family home, you wouldn't build it so close to the road, right? Because the existing structure is really close to the road. It's like 10 feet, so you're at the front door. So doing anything else, anything that anyone else would do would absolutely make this a tear down because they would be building in an entirely different location on the lot itself.
And the neighbors are all okay with it?
I don't know. Yeah, I wrote to them.
They all received certified, yes, we do have correspondence from one neighbor that was, yes, we will now, if nobody else present in the audience this evening, we will, go into that. Because this is what the public hearing is for.
Yeah, there's a folder of some emails here.
So yeah, that is just, and then we can read one of them. Because they're all exactly the same, just addressed to
Different board members.
each individual board member. Sure. And this is from Mary Elwin, having received the notice of the public hearing for an informal discussion concerning the property located 250 Spillway Road, yada, yada, yada. Use variance says I will be unable to attend the hearing. I am writing to inform the board that I am not in agreement with the proposed 7-unit residential conversion. I ask that you keep me informed of any other hearings or changes regarding this matter in the future. Obviously, there's no specifics giving in this, which is typically what the board wants to hear, right? Specifically why, and I will remind that the zoning board and the planning board are two different boards entirely. We deal with setbacks and uses specifically, things such as sewage, drainage, visuals, all of that's planning board stuff. So the applicant has to come to us first to get approved for the variances. And then they move on to the planning board, which is a much more in-depth look at everything. I just want to clarify that for everybody. I was aware, I did that. This email with those letters just came into me today, and I did write back to the sender and say, we'll read that into the record. However, if you can provide something more specific, at that, and I forwarded this to Samara, she said she did provide something that was more specific that should be in the drive.
There is another thing here called the neighbor letter.
Yeah, so this, she emailed me with, okay, this looks exactly like what I received.
Okay.
Okay,
Oops, sorry, let me pull those.
so this is her specifics. So I will read this now for the record. Who is Mr. Livina? Anyway, I visited the town offices last week to collect copies relating to the application for the proposed 7 years of residential conversion by Royal Renovations at 250 Spillway Road, which adjoins my property at 262 Spillway Road. So this is a direct neighbor. In reading the 11/17/2025 letter from Paul Economos, building inspector at the time, the applicant Lauren Walling, building permit application, Mr. Economos states that the current mixed use is deemed conforming restaurant and 3-family dwelling, which is correct. I have lived next door to said property for more than 50 years and never was there a 3-family dwelling on the property. The property was run as a restaurant with living quarters upstairs for 2 people, Red Vest Restaurant, Terrapin Restaurant, and rented to Spillway House Restaurant. All restaurants and all run by the couples who lived upstairs. There were never 3-family dwellings on the property. I want to make this clear to the zoning board as it implies that the building housed or could have housed 3 families. I have sent letters to the zoning board of appeals stating my opposition to the proposal. I gave no specifics. However, there are numerous violations connected with said property. I would be happy to discuss this matter with you at another time. At present, I will be unable to attend the informational meeting on Thursday, March 12th, 2026. Please keep me informed of any related information or charges. I'll take this time just to address some of that letter in which the applicant would not be before us if it was a 3-family dwelling unit. That is allowed in the zoning code. at the moment. You're seeking an additional units, hence the reason for the variance. As far as the other things go, the board, again,
But it was used for it, and it was zoned for it.
yes, specifically. So, without accessing my own personal email, which she did write me back before 3 p.m. today, she brought up a second thing, but it was, all derived septic system and the parking and, the visuals of it, which once again, it's not in the purview of the zoning board of appeals. Should this granting of a use variance be issued by us, these would all be things that would have to be addressed by the plan, not our board. So at the moment, that is the only, that to my knowledge, corresponds we have received. However, there was the issue that this is on a county road, which means it has to be submitted to the county for their own feedback. Not that our board has to adhere to what the county tells us, but we should really be taking whatever they have to say and addressing our own decisions. I am not aware that the county has,
Yeah, I believe Samara told me today that she sent, but has not heard the response.
which is not surprising. So I did not see anything in the drive or the folder for this specific application saying we've received anything from the county. Like I said, it's not, county can take some time to get back to us. The board is held by the county's determination or recommendation. It's just a kind of recommendation for their opinion, but they don't generally hold weight on our opinion on it. Are there any questions from board members to the applicant while we're public hearing? So
Right there. Thank you.
right,
Did someone, did you have to explain to the local letter that this was really to the rate, so have to go through the entire plan process?
so I responded that most likely if we did not have like a large public turnout, or there was not a bunch of like pushback, that this may be the only public hearing on the issue. I said, we don't necessarily have to make a statement tonight or a decision this evening. But I encourage her to reach back out with anything that she felt prevalent about. Because I was not aware of the email that was sent to the building inspector, secretary, at that time, which she laid out the issue that we just discussed. I might be able to access the email she sent me, but I kind of generalized it for you guys just before. It's the exact same person.
That's the two we just saw.
Just, if everyone can give me a moment on this issue, I think I can try access that email and I'll read it
Okay.
just for everybody right now. Because there's nobody present this evening that has come aside from them. They've just written emails. We received them. I will cross my T's and dot my I's for this. So I apologize, just give me a moment to see if I can get into.
Just curious, how many parking spots are you, planning for?
This is from a different person, Josh.
That's a
Samara
really
just
great
texted
question.
us.
Do we have the site plan? Is there?
That's gonna have, we're gonna have to engineer this site.
Yes.
What do you mean, you have to engineer the site?
You can see the number of parking
I thought
spaces.
it was-
Yeah, that is not. That is not the,
The little one and an eight.
email I received, but this person is referenced.
Seven units and some of them are two bedrooms.
Once again, they go into things that aren't necessarily zoning board of appeals
Yes,
issues.
12 parking spots.
So do we want to read this one too?
We'll read this, yes, we'll read this one into, just give me, I've been having a lot of problems
I'm just,
giving into
Yeah,
the
yeah,
email.
yeah. The practicality of it, right?
well, 2 bedrooms, you can say 2 people would be living
Yeah,
there.
only.
How many 2 bedrooms? are you
Five.
saying?
Five.
So that's, 10 people, and then, yeah,
I think there's also a requirement in certain points for. And we send it to the, yeah, send it to zoning.
I mean, there must be
Zoning-
parking.
send it to zoning counselor.
Right?
Yeah, they, you just have to go to.
And they park all down the road too. So, never saw it for myself.
Yeah, somebody can tell you, come on, why don't you?
So shall we divide it?
Yeah, that's a little too much.
That's It's really the only restaurant.
Long term, yeah. Long.
Getting it.
Yeah, that's true. Then that's, yeah, yeah. It's not Airbnb
Like,
situation.
right.
You know, so close to Kingston that, so what's interesting is because it's so close to Kingston, when we were doing the affordable housing survey.
It's town of Hurley,
the comps,
NY.
the number of comps,
Yeah, zoning and town of Hurley and
comps
why.gov.
was-
It usually takes a couple of minutes to get here, but.
And that just indicated
Yeah,
that there
and then
was
we're gonna have to
no
go through the two
housing
step.
here for, if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, the 2 hours, right,
Because
yeah.
there were no rentals. So that was how they, that's how the CPC, that's how the Cleaning Preservation Corporation came into that assessment of rent.
I'm texting with Samara.
No, they're not that small. There's gotta be at least 600, 700.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were quite long.
Really don't, I really.
We'll do our, we can do it.
I wouldn't need to.
For 200?
Yeah.
The whole building's about 6,500 square feet, common space and laundry. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I didn't- Oh, you should have it now. I want to get my people.
I think it's really like a family affair. Like they were just- And it worked, it is, I know that letters out there were, we've been, obviously, their apartments were kitchens.
Jeremy, can I send this
They weren't
forward
like
this to
just
zoning?
bedrooms, they were-
Zoning at town of Hurley and why.gov. Or if you can sound full, I'll give us some get here, but yeah,
They just wanna make it.
that's the main.
Town of Hurley.
Fair.
And
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
Yeah, town of Hurley and why, all one word. And it usually takes a couple of minutes to come in.
We'll read the other one first.
Yeah.
Do you want me to pull that other one up?
Sure. I have a feeling they just kind of reiterated that information. Okay, so, this one that was received at 3:15 PM. States, hello, I am writing to request the application materials for the property at 250 Spillway Road in West Hurley. My stepmother Phyllis Wojciech, Wojciech? Wojciech? Wojciech.
Wait a second.
Who knows what letters are silent? Resides at 240 Spillway Road. Unfortunately, I'm able to attend the public hearing, but I would like to submit the following comment to the record. Here's the comment. There have historically been issues with the sewage system at this property when it was occupied by prior restaurants and one apartment. Could you please clarify how sewage and wastewater capacity will be addressed with proposed 7 residential units? Thank you for your time and assistance. Sincerely, Jennifer. Wait a sec. Okay. Again, this is, yes, they're not even, haven't even crossed that.
So Josh, this is the email you just sent me. From.
Yep, that looks like the one.
From the.
Once again, it's kind of reiterating, but while we're here, during the public hearing, we are addressing it.
I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
So for the secretary notes, I just want to say we've read through the emails. And once again, I am unable to attend the meetings as I have appointments very shortly today. I will jot down some comments informally. I did send a letter to the building inspector questioning a letter dated 11/17/25 that Paul Conlo sent to Lauren Walling stating that the current mixed use is deemed conforming restaurant and 3-family dwelling, which it is. Building was only ever occupied in the upstairs by 2 people. The couple who were running the restaurant at the time, it was
doing this for, there you go.
certain. I was certainly a single family. It was certainly a single family apartment for more than over 50 years that I have been living next door. There have been a number of violations in the past. An above ground septic system is decidedly on the Wojciech property, which when in operation leached onto their front yard. When the Terrapin restaurant was in operation, a driveway was built to circle the septic to extend even farther over the lot line of the Wojciech property. On my lot line, a new cooler was attached to the building and a well was drilled close to the lot line. Both done with no notification to our adjoining properties. I have survey done 7/9/2024 or 2004 showing the same. The survey supplied with the new plans does not show any of the aforementioned. It is apparent to me that the under 2-acre lot is in no way appropriate to support 7-unit building. Just considering water and septic and parking, I also would be surprised that considering the condition of the building seems to be rated as normal, could be a conversion. I also would like to point out that the letter states that the applicant is requesting an informal discussion and that no action for determination will be made. She attaches a survey map. Did that, attachment come through?
Sure thing. Yeah, it's just a little bridge.
So once again, several aspects of this are now in purview of the zoning board. We can take them into consideration, the general aspect. However, we are looking at basically the increase of the use from what is allowed as a 3-unit dwelling, increase it to 7. But we are in receipt of the concerns of the neighbors. Any discussion amongst the board?
And none of the things that within our jurisdiction.
Yeah.
1986 EPA.
A lot of these issues are gonna be addressed moving forward. Should we even?
As
those
things were taking place,
certainly
certainly those were valid concerns, but.
So my immediate concerns are that we haven't heard back from Ulster County yet. I would, having a project of this scope, and changes, like to have something in writing from them.
What's their timeline?
If they don't get back to us by next month, then certainly we would just move on, move along. Um, my secondary concern would be initially just that we give a little bit of space on this breather. I did hear before Paul had left his position here recently. The planning board is aware of this application. They have a new chairman. And they are looking at the zoning code as well. And the rumblings are that there is a consensus that a 3-unit structure is coming outdated. And that may be something that is going to get looked at in the future. So perhaps we may want to send this to the planning board.
What do you mean it's becoming, the 3 units is becoming outdated? What exactly does that mean?
Yeah,
So I can't speak to the planning board's thought process or the building department, but that, rental units in early all being held to 3 units or less. In all zones, it's started to be thought of as maybe too constricted. And they're thinking about, this perhaps this application may be the catalyst for that, looking at the zoning and making changes. Now, I'm just preemptively speaking about what I've heard. I can't say that for sure or anything like that. I've felt this kind of myself in areas that perhaps strict 3-unit code is kind of like, well, maybe you have to look at increasing that. So my 2 thoughts are that, and this discussion with the board, keeping the public hearing open for another month so that we can receive feedback from the county, and also perhaps setting this to the planning board for their input towards us.
Can we send it to?
Because there are,
So making it, because we have to look at it as current state,
yeah,
which that could then ultimately just end us back to us if the timeline of that proposal doesn't match the time of the contract, right? Just looking at it to get anybody as a variance.
my theory is just that because, as I've stated all the time, use variance is a dirty 3-letter word on our board. I want to cross all of our T's and I's, or cross the T's, dot the I's. Everything laid out on the table so that when our decision is made, it's made steadfast. I'm sure if our attorney was here, he'd be shouting the same thing, making us go through our due diligence. So I don't want to necessarily rush anything through, because this perhaps could be a project that has ripples down the line. So I just want to make sure our board takes a very thorough determination
but then
before we do so.
we make
But that's just my opinion.
if we were to make a decision right now and approve it, it's still got to go through everything again.
It will still have to go through the planning board. Correct. However, if we make the determination right now and grant the this use variance for 7 buildings in this zoning area of the A 2.5, I believe it is,
Yeah.
that sets a precedence for us. And so then that opens up the door for a lot of other people to say, hey, They got 7. Why can't we get 7 on this parcel? Obviously, in my opinion, them using the existing footprint, not changing anything, goes a long way for me. But I want to have a lock, stock and barrel decision. That's just my opinion. I don't speak for all the rest of it.
Encroaching on property.
Well, they're not seeking,
Variance.
variances for, area variances. They're already grandfathered in.
Okay.
So where the footprint is. That's it. So they're not asking for an area variance. It's just the use, which the three unit use is already acceptable.
What planning board meeting can we get in front of? Would it potentially kick this out beyond? the
Just
month of
goes-
public hearing?
So do you know when
Their
the
next
planning board
meeting would be the.
They do 2 sometimes.
No, they do 1 a month.
Yeah.
We're on the 24th, Debbie, so I think they would be the 25th.
Yeah, so they should certainly have an answer for us
Fine.
for our next, by April.
And that gives the county time to respond.
And once again, it's just sending it to them and saying, hey, do you have any kind of thoughts on this that you want to feedback to us? We've done it in the past. Generally, we've shied away just because their agenda is sort of heavy. We don't send them, any sort of thing that comes across. That's just my thought. Any discussion on that?
I think that's a smart move.
Makes sense. My only concern was possibly making it 2 months. It's gonna work out where we get to leave it open for public hearing, also buy us time for the county, and it falls into a.
Find time for the county, send it to the planning board,
It
and
still
then
puts us on track.
once
to
it
make a
comes
decision.
back. I have no problem wiping my hands in it, and making a decision.
That's,
I can theoretically make a decision tonight, but then I just want to make it all.
Excuse me?
Quite comfortable with tonight.
yeah, I'm fine waiting until next month.
All
You
good.
need to drag things out any longer.
I don't like to either, but,
But
I
It ended up being just as long for you.
last month was my 9th year on the zoning board of appeals. I've been through these things before, and I know I just, sometimes I have clairvoyance.
You gotta get you a landfill pass.
All right, so then I will make a motion to keep the public hearing open on this application for next month until we receive communication from the county, and also like to send it to planning board for any thoughts, recommendations they may have.
any zoning related thoughts. So to be specific.
Seconded by Alex. All board members present in favor, verbal aye or show of hands. All board members present, not opposed. We're going to keep the public hearing open on this matter till next month. I apologize if you're trying to get moving, but
Nope, not a
it's
problem.
in your best interest.
Let me tell you, it's completely fine. The CPC moves very slowly, so it's gonna be months.
Yeah, you
Fine.
had a long process. ahead.
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you so much for considering
No problem.
the thoughtful feedback. We appreciate it.
Okay, moving on.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so
I
much.
did, yeah, and then Alex.
I got that.
So moving on to the second item of business, this is an area variance for a property located at 130 Vessel Road. They are seeking two area variances for construction of a storage shed. This is an R1 district. It requires a variance of 28 feet from the required 50-foot setback on the side yard and a 3-foot variance from the required 25-foot setback for the property, which is already undersized, pre-existing undersized. Do I have the applicants here this evening? You folks,
Yes.
excellent, yes. Sorry that we had to hold you guys up, but there is a last minute, change in it that wasn't clarified and the board didn't feel comfortable moving the application into the next steps of the public hearing without having you guys address us. So, at this time, if you would, Jeremy, if you could bring up the items for 135.
Yes, they're here. What do you know?
Perfect. So if you just want to address, so I believe if I can remember correctly, it was going to be, there's additional things that were gonna happen, and then at the last minute, you pulled back and said it's just gonna be a storage shed.
Well,
Is there septic
there's a
involved?
there's a few issues, and you want to talk, yeah,
Originally we thought it would be we're both, dancers. And, we thought that it would be a full dance, in addition to storage, but we would use it for rehearsal. And that would have also meant putting heat in there, heat pump in there. And we've scaled back that idea that it would just be storage and it would just be workout space, not really rehearsal space, no heating other than a little portable electric heat.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have some stationary bike and yoga equipment, and that's what we're thinking would be the use.
Excellent. And, can we scan down here, see if that is reflected on application? That's from, is there a secondary piece that,
Want to see what else is in there?
yeah,
This is a referral letter.
let's take a look at that. It's all. Regardless, the setbacks are gonna change. Correct. It's
What's
still, the setbacks are not changing. It's still the same exact footprint of where. it
Yes.
yes,
was. Yeah.
right, otherwise it would be in the middle of the property, we have a small property, we have a lawn and we have a fireplace. There's really just one flat area, it's a little bit of a hill, the property, there's an area where that building would actually sit and be useful.
Excellent. We should have, I believe, some kind of site plan as well. Right?
Let's take a look.
There's a photo.
Let me just go through and see what's here. That's not.
You just click those arrows on the side.
Yep. So let's see what's here. That's
There we go.
so it's lying on its side.
What it looks like.
It's the barns, I mean, the rat barns lean to building.
Oops, I'm sorry. There we go. Sorry about that.
And it comes fully with electric.
There's
so
another
you can-
document that shows the actual footprint of where it is on the.
Yeah,
property.
that is what
That's what
I'm
we do.
kind of looking for.
Right.
Let me find that for you. It's not here. Let's just see. See if this is,
See a photo.
Oh, here it is.
yeah, there's the
Here we
footprint.
go.
Right.
Yes,
The checkerboard is,
Yes.
yeah, those
that's where
area.
it would be,
Yes.
and that's really just 20, and if it would be 50, right,
And
in the parking lot.
the site was chosen, A, because it's the most level, but if you complied with the zoning and it was 50 feet, it would be almost on top of the house too.
Yeah, well, this is precisely why our board exists, because almost nothing in Berlin is, standard. If we lived in like, Iowa or something, everything was a perfect square lot.
Or if you have enough land, but this property has only 1 point, no,
So 0.8.
yeah, so we have so little, we have a lawn in the front and in the back, so basically, It's gotta be, yeah,
Many-
nearby. where
Many of the
borders.
buildings and houses apparently were constructed well before there was even a zoning code adopted, so.
I'm sure.
Have you spoken to your neighbors in the back?
Yes,
There
I mean,
are
they
no
all,
neighbors in the back, it's just woods, and then
it's the O&W.
it's the O and W rail trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's, I have your parcel, I have your thing on
Neighbors
parcel
sitting right
view.
here.
No, it's not mine. I have your parcel viewer
We have two neighbors.
and there's one,
Deb,
yeah, so I see. Doesn't look like they really have access to that land in the back, is that
no,
correct?
there is
They
no
don't.
access to that.
Right, so that's just
That's-
woods.
Yeah,
The only neighbor behind us is really behind the house next door to us. So it's just woods straight behind our house, straight to the rail trail.
Regardless of who the neighbors are, how the process works is, so should we accept the application tonight?
Yeah.
Then certified letters are sent out to all your neighbors with a
Yeah.
250-foot radius.
Right.
And that gives them
we
a
spoke.
chance to
Yeah.
write us or come here for the next meeting, so on and so forth.
Good.
To either be in approval of it or not in approval of it, so, regardless, I don't see really anything, with as presented now that we have clarification. I don't see any reason not to accept the application.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions for the applicants otherwise? Anybody like to make a move? I would like to make a motion to accept the application as presented to us. Schedule as a, type 2 seeker process and schedule for a public hearing at our next upcoming April 9th meeting. Do I have seconded by Kara? All in favor, all board members present in favor, verbal aye or show of hands. All board members present, none opposed. Your application is accepted. You'll have a public hearing on the matter at our April 9th meeting.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
What kind of dance? Congratulations.
What this is, what
we're
you're doing, actually, can I
Postmodern
hang out?
dancers, and I produce a festival twice a year called Avant-Garde Rama.
Would you like?
I'm part of that. Where's the Avant-Garde Rama flyer?
Can we hang out? So this is what
So
he does for 50 years.
we had this festival of short work.
You want to hang up a flag?
That's the way smelling people.
Uh-huh.
And then it's 6 or 7 different offices, dance, music, film and performance.
I said, put it up and.
I started just in New York City
Best place if you,
Yeah,
4 years
please.
ago.
if you want to put it on a
And
local
I brought
board.
it up here and it's
Yeah.
doing very well.
Great.
Oh,
My grandfather was a manager.
And let the people know.
Back when they were making.
If you want to put it on a local board,
Well,
do it on the one in the front vestibule between the
So, yeah, it's a
doors.
great place.
It's bulletin board in the hallway as far as.
Yeah.
In the entryway. There should be some text there.
So, yeah, the next one is coming up, the next one is coming up in 2 weeks, in days. So maybe I'm gonna hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
It's too far.
Good, yeah, it's been growing. It's the one in.
Nice.
And you know, the lake,
I smells in Kingston.
it's a great fun space.
You know, it's one of those
Mostly
days.
visual arts, but they
Oh, right.
invited him to do theater and music and
Artists.
twice a year. So always in March and September.
So,
Oh.
excellent.
All right.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay. Have a good night.
Good evening.
Good night. Yeah, nice to meet you. Take care.
All right, we
Yeah.
shall move on to our third item of business this evening, which is another area variance located at 105 Senior Road. Applicant requests the construction of a AU, the accessory use. Well, what do they call those?
Well, in a lot of towns, they call it
Very popular these days.
accessory dwelling unit, but in this town, it's called an accessory apartment.
Gonna go with ADU stuff.
Great.
Glossary of terms.
The parcel is located in the A 2.5 district. It's a 0.49 pre-existing non-conforming lot, our favorite term here in town. The proposal includes a side yard setback of 10 feet and a yard setback of 10 feet. Required setbacks of 50 and 25. So therefore, the applicant requesting a 15-foot side yard area variance and a 40-foot rear yard variance. So assuming you are here to
Yes.
represent yourself
Yeah.
or the applicant,
Yeah.
good, yourself.
Yes.
John?
Yes.
All right, good. I think we've been,
Yeah, thank you for your correspondence, Josh.
no problem. You've already got it up here on the screen.
Yeah.
This is your chance to present your application to the zoning board of appeals
Great.
and describe why you should accept it.
I would love to.
Bring up, John.
I am a little old school, so I did print some stuff off.
Love that.
If we don't mind. So this is the main property. This is what we're looking at. And I'll speak more to it. So this is kind of
Okay.
what I'm proposing. So see it. Roll it up.
Old school. Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just, very rare. Yeah, so this is kind of what we're looking at. And this is kind of like a quick printout. My house, you can kind of see on the right-hand side, the front yard and Cena Road. Is
So
on the
Cedar
right.
Road is here.
Yeah, we're front, yeah, we're at this front. And that's my driveway. And it's oriented towards north. And then looking at this, I got a grant from Rupco, which awards like about $112,000 for somebody that wants to build an accessory dwelling unit on the property. And it's to address the lack of housing in here. From the application you probably read, I've lived here since 2018, and it was lucky that I bought that. Because a lot of the people, my coworkers, they can't even afford to rent here anymore. So Rupco has these grants that helps to create affordable long-term housing for people in the area. So this is one way in which we can address it. And also, when you accept the grant, it's for 10 years. You sign on to a 80% of fair market value rent for people. So people rent it affordably and long term, which is something we plan to do.
I thought I saw that it was your in-laws. Did I read the wrong? It's not your in-laws. Okay, I don't know what I was reading. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Perhaps you had stated that you may or may not have an in-law meeting.
Sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because my mother-in-law, okay, so my wife's pregnant, we're due, at the end of next month, and.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, our first baby girl, really. Yeah, I can't wait. So you have a.
Quarterly resident.
I'd be too young.
Yeah, too young ones, yeah.
You're several.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's to stop this from becoming a she shed.
She shed, yeah, me and the dog. We're gonna make sure that doesn't happen. But it's really one of these things, yeah, could it help us with, maybe my mother-in-law coming and staying, or potentially renting it long-term? I don't know if that's a little too close. I think the variance would have to be the other side of town, potentially.
For your mother-in-law.
Yeah, but in all honesty.
You are being recorded, sir.
Yeah. But in all honesty, we do look at it as at least another substitute. If she does not live there and she lives somewhere else.
You would have to rent it
Yes,
in
yeah.
order to go through that program.
Rupco, yeah.
You do have to rent it and it has to be long-term affordable housing. So that's something that, if somebody that's seen a lot of friends that, can no longer afford to live here, even with two jobs, it's something that I would look to address, and maybe it can help us pay for that. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan. I've been on this for probably 2 years plus. I've been working with Rough Code, I've been working with Paul, Thomas, and originally it was going to be the garage, and we were gonna restore that. I was gonna do a Brad's Farms with a second story and renovate that. It's just not cost effective. It's just far too expensive. Every quote I got, it's just, even with the grant, it's just not cost effective. So I found a company, and it's in the application, and you can probably see it, but they have something that is within the allotted square footage. I'm not looking for a use variance. Use variance, I have to keep it within 30% of the square footage of the building. Not looking for use variance, fits that criteria. But I do need an area variance because anywhere on my property doesn't meet the use variance because it's not that wide. So this is the parcel view.
I can bring that up here too for you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the parcel view kind of shows now. Don Allen, not to be confused with Dan Allen or Brian Allen, somebody else that works with the town of Hurley. Don Allen owns this property. So he is both neighbors here. And I'm currently working with him. He's talking to a lawyer. We're gonna figure out if this goes through, what I can do to buy a variance from him or buy a right of way. But currently, as you can see, there's some trees right here that we'd really like to keep because it blocks the view between my house and the ADU. The ADU would fit somewhere in here. So even if, we get this variance, Don might say, let's set it back further. That's fine, just as long as it's, it's going to be somewhere back there. It may be exactly where we put it there. And so Don doesn't have a house there currently. He lives in Woodstock, but what's that?
Is it Sarah?
He used to, not there, but
No, I mean there, just to.
no, he's got chickens, he's got a sawmill. Got a nice little thing around back there.
I'm just curious because you seem like you have a lot of space here. Why aren't you putting the building in a spot that you don't need any variances? You seem like you have room. Is it because of the trees or?
I don't really have room.
It looks like from this map that you have room.
Yeah, the size of it is, because the setbacks, I believe, are 50 feet.
Yeah.
But the property is only like 97 wide. So it would actually make it so that I wouldn't be able to put anything anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, 50 feet from the front and back, he's gonna have to put it like that. That's where probably
Yeah.
the tree would be, if not like slightly ahead of that.
Yeah.
And then he's encroaching on his leach field.
But there's a couple things to address. Yes, it is a slope. So it does slope back this way and down this way. So this is not only like a higher part of the property, but these are some really nice legacy trees. Like we're talking really nice hickories and some pines. Well, pines or whatever, but there's some hemlocks in there too. I would really like to keep, creates a barrier.
Ever considered some blue spruce?
Yeah, we actually have some growing there. I'm thinking about doing some foundational plants. That's not a huge yes. Yeah.
If this ever gets to the plan, just tell them we're going blue spruce.
No, I love
When he's sensitive mycelium would be disturbed.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, you're a mushroom guy, right?
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
He's a
company,
fun guy.
that's still fun guy, yeah.
Well, we have that in our
Couple of
shelf.
foragers amongst the foragers.
Oh, there you are.
Good news.
Yeah, sure, they're all good.
We'll have to My husband,
Not everything.
my husband put out a beautiful book on mushrooms. Really beautiful book, Craig Spinelli. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Well, I don't drink. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's part of the Mid-Hudson
Yeah,
Mycological
yeah.
Association. Yeah, I used to be the president for a while.
Recuse yourself, Karen.
That's
Yeah.
the mushroom connection.
Oh, that's
All right,
great.
well-
Oh, I said hi, please.
I will.
Yeah.
Do any of the board members have questions for that?
Not that, already, sorry.
I wanna know all that down there, secret sawmill that's there.
I see no reason that we should not accept that.
I agree.
So, would anybody like to make a question?
Make a motion to accept the variance. Position. To seekers.
And schedule it for,
Schedule it for public hearing
On April 9th.
on April 9th.
I will second that.
Great. Thank you.
Did you see how fast
Appreciate
it
it.
came?
All board members present in favor and opposed? Verbal liar, show of hands. All board members present in favor and opposed. See how
Appreciate that.
You snuck that in so fast.
That's great. No, I appreciate it.
All right, I described the process to you, you know, you're gonna get, your neighbors are gonna get,
Hold on one second.
Letters.
I'll approve one thing at once. Say that again, Josh?
so I described the process to you, you know, all your neighbors are gonna get letters and stuff,
Yes.
and then,
Yeah,
get beef or.
Yep.
No. And that's how it's gonna roll.
yeah. Within 250 feet, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Let's loop, that's, yeah.
Great.
Sounds
And
good.
whoever reads the agreement, please. Notices of-
Right. Well, I appreciate that very much.
Will your daughter be born by the next meeting?
I don't know. I mean, it's the window, it's like, I mean, really anytime in the beginning of next month, but she's due at the end of next month,
Or the end of April?
end of April.
Okay, I thought it was.
Everybody wishes for the dates.
My mom was due April 25th and I was born March 17th. So.
Oh, all right, see, this is what I mean.
It happened.
Those, my kids got moved
My
a
best.
week later.
Yeah.
If she's
Oh.
away from the zoning board meeting, showed up to like the last, you know, doctor's appointment, they're like, yeah, we're gonna push you back a week.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
That's what happened. Well, if I am not here next month, it's because.
Yeah, bags on your eyes, it'll be like,
Yeah,
having lots of days.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that very much. Yeah.
No
thank you
problem.
very much.
And,
My-
we may or may not see you next.
Yeah, I hope to. I hope so.
Best of luck.
And can I submit something, an application to the planning board for next month? I should wait.
No,
until
you gotta,
then.
yeah, this is the processes that must happen.
That's fine. I
Yeah.
understand.
Until we make our decision, it literally can't, I mean, you could do it the night we make our decision. No, you can't, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have grounds until we go through the process, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that works.
What's the name of your business?
Well, Catskill fungi. Yeah, that sticker.
We have many,
Sorry.
many
Take,
files.
I'll take some of my documents.
Yeah.
Morel season
Yeah,
first,
you
bro.
got it. Yeah, I got a few extras. I'm gonna get your daughter.
Yeah. You're all gonna have to recuse yourselves now, you know that.
Yeah.
I've been advocating for the black seal for a long time.
Yeah.
Some of the first black car you ever got.
Yeah,
There is good corruption there.
yeah.
We're gonna have to declare this sometime.
Yes, on your ethics.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to our next, we have apparently board discussions to go on tonight. I wasn't aware of any of these, but item number 4, ZBA referral process during the ZBO transition. Deb, do you know anything about this?
So you're done?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I'm staying.
Might stick around. if you want.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you're
kind of
really welcome.
find it
Love the
interesting.
audience.
You got a pregnant wife at home.
Gentlemen, you are being recorded. I know.
Small.
All right, so discussion regarding procedures for referral of applications from the building department to the zoning board of appeals during the current CEO transition. Whatever that
Do we
entails.
have any?
Um,
Not yet.
The board will review proposed referral forms currently under consideration by the building department and discuss whether or not these forms are acceptable in lieu of formal referral letters previously issued. So what I have generally taken this as is Paul used to write a nice letter saying, this is this, this is this, this is this. And then I saw something recently for 160 Jeffers Lane, perhaps.
Yeah.
That was just like a
form.
do not need something. I mean, this harkens back to my early years on the board.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not against it, but like, man, Paul made it so nice and neat and packaged in a nice,
Yes.
That's
like,
the way
this is what
He
you
will be
need,
missed.
like, you know?
So she has multiple forms that I believe, I saw a few of them today, that I believe she was gonna share with you to get your
Sure.
feedback on.
Well, let's bring up, obviously, the 160 Jeffrey Lane, of course. I'm already aware of this. The guy's been calling me like crazy.
What do you need to say?
Cherry edition.
Oh,
He's
yes,
like, calls me and stuff.
yes, he's.
Leave me alone.
Yes.
You probably are aware.
Mhm.
So referral letter form. If I'm not mistaken, without Zamara being here,
Yes.
I'm
this
pretty
is
sure
one of
this
them.
is now-
one of them.
so this would be what we would receive as opposed to a nice
Type letter.
neatly worded letter of, oh, this is your denial, this is what you need, request this. It's kind of like a check off the box. This does not meet, this is what you need. So my assumption is that,
Right, so see where it has the reason, stay on the top.
Yeah.
The reason it's denied minimum lot requirements. They were talking about that today, for example, and I said, well, they could just attach, could attach something written up like Paul used to do, perhaps.
yeah, so can we move down a little bit more?
I like some of the other ones better personally, but.
So, but let's move down a little bit more. Yep, so then it's scribbly writing. And then let's move down some more. So what my concern with this is, there's no description of what is required. So it's requiring us as the zoning board
Yeah.
to make a determination of specifically what is being requested. Now, obviously, we're just looking at one form.
So,
And this is not like, obviously, there's all kinds of different requests that are gonna happen coming on.
And Paul's
But-
always tried to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a
just
building
like one that we just looked at, their application.
Yeah.
from that building department.
No, they're in the drive, like just bring up John's application,
Let me just-
the format of John's application. So my understanding is they would still fill out the application like you guys are getting now. This is what you would get from the building.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like there's some fundamental.
So
But the,
here's that application. Yeah. So yeah, that's the,
So you would still get this. Right, just like you do now. But then these other forms would be, okay, she said, look under forms in the drive.
and perhaps I'm not familiar just because building inspector's done such a fantastic job. Does the applicant still request the same variances? If they're going into the building department, and the building inspector, the CEO, or whatever we want to call them, is saying, this is the variance you need, this distance and this distance. They're putting it on the applicant to then dictate that exactly and say what's needed. Still gives me the heebie-jeebies a little bit.
that's the only thing in the forms folder.
That's the only thing in there? Oh, yeah, there's multiple in there. Open that
Oh,
up.
I see. Yeah, it's small. It's just 2 pages. It's just-
So this one doesn't have the first page.
This is just.
Oh, it's reversed.
Page, I think. Yeah.
Yes. First, I like the one there was one that Tom Tyrone used to use. I liked that one the best, and I think that's the one we don't have because that was just handled in hard copy. Right, which she pretty. She was gonna bring
One
that
of
in.
Thomas used.
So
Tom's?
why-
Temporarily been
he's,
retained.
he's
Maybe.
on retainer for, we would use him likely for like larger projects. Like a Cedar or an Arizona,
He didn't do a bad job, but I know he's full time.
but he's willing to do, like if we had a bigger application. He would probably do that. He's also, we do some training for the folks that are in there, the ones that don't have zoning experience. But we're utilizing Sean Marks from Marbletown right now. If we get applications in, Sean's gonna be the one that actually sends you the determination. But he's proposing to use the form that they use in Marbletown.
How is that different from what Wall used to,
Yeah, because Paul used to just basically write a letter. Right?
Yeah,
I
He would go
love,
to a letter that just described and,
and explained it really clearly.
yeah.
This is why you need a variance, you know, this is the code, you know, it was very clear.
Right.
Which really helped us a lot.
I think it was very formal and to the point for not only us, but the applicant.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Everything just
Both ways.
So
Laid out,
basically,
in absence of that, I would like to at least see, without having other forms that are before us, at least see the building inspector, code enforcement officer, see, put in black and white the variance that is requested. You know, so that it doesn't leave anything to question where the applicant has to determine anything and our board has to then look. Determine that. So that's my only thoughts. Does everybody else have any?
1,000% agree.
I agree too.
There's no way that the applicant would be able to figure that out easily. Nice.
Just gonna
No,
read
that's
it. It's gonna encourage the applicants,
You
can't,
can't look at
gonna
it.
create more work.
The service designer in me says, hell yes to that.
That's the official wording of the official determination of the word.
I second that, oh, yes.
Third. And what do we want?
Item number 5, application submission by non-property owner. I know exactly what this is. And I'm assuming it
I don't know
relates
anything
to,
about this one.
I'm assuming this relates to 160 Jeffrey Lane once again. So 160 Jeffrey Lane, I don't think it came in before our application submission deadline for this, but somebody is looking to, basically, you can bring up the map, that might explain it all.
Oh, this is wondering what makes
Yeah.
2 lots out of one.
Yeah, so this is on.
Yeah.
This was, so,
Yeah,
I
well,
probably shouldn't even give you that, so. Back in the 60s, when this subdivision went in, this was supposed to be 2 different lots, and it was designed as 2 different lots, have 2 different houses. The water system was built and designed to have 2 different parcels. When the IBMers were coming up in here hot and heavy, the parcels are apparently too cheap, and they all started buying double parcels in this area, and then started building houses on double parcels just to have 2 pieces of property. So when you look at this parcel, you see that dotted line that goes right across the center of it?
Yep.
That if you zoom in on that, it says proposed property line to be deleted. Because the person came in and they just said, I'm gonna buy both these lots. Which would have at that time been perfectly acceptable building lots. They built a house on one of the lots and just kept the other property. And it happened on the street in multiple instances. Now here we are in 2026, and the person where the house is currently built that owns the property, and the lot line was never made, it just was made as one parcel. says, oh, I'll sell the second parcel and we'll just divide it right where it goes. So now an industrious gentleman
So this is
Wants-
this isn't a lot line deletion, this is a lot line addition.
I
Yeah.
believe the planning board technically calls it a subdivision.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. So it's a subdivision. Even though at the time, when
Yeah,
everything was being made, it was
it's
cool,
great.
it was fine, you could put two houses there. Now, it does not meet the code as it currently states. And as I said, an industrious gentleman wants to purchase the lot and repurpose it as two lots now. However, it does not conform to current zoning code. And he is trying to make it as easy as the person who currently owns it so that he is applying for it himself.
Did you say that he wants to buy the one lot, but make it into two lots? Is that what you said? Or he just wants to buy the
He
one lot?
wants to have the lot
Lot.
subdivided as it was originally
Okay.
planned to be.
Okay,
Does he already own
And
a
then
house?
purchase, nope, he does not own any of the property.
So he wants to buy the house and.
So this is
buy
the
lot.
discussion.
no,
No,
he wants
he
to
just wants to subdivide it and buy the second parcel once it's subdivided. The person who owns it, I don't think has any interest in going through the process.
So it was like,
But
if you can
you
figure out.
do everything
this, I will
and
sell.
then, yes. And the industrious gentleman has no interest in purchasing it if it can't be done. So, I believe he has come in and is now trying to act as an agent for the owner. Which he reached out to me and I said, well, I can only say what I think. I'm not the end all person in this. But I believe that in past, we have had people allowed to act as an agent for the person who owns the parcel.
It's all set up in the paperwork already. If they go.
That's what I told him as well, that,
If they
you
fill out
can-
the paper and get it notarized.
but the person who owns the parcel has to take the initial step. Fill out the paperwork, and I believe there's it's either as simple as a checkbox that says, so-and-so will act as my agent, or they have like an official letter that they send in and say, this person will be conducting my business for us. Now, for reference, the West Hurley School. Guy who Ontior didn't sell that till just like a few weeks ago. But they had agents coming in, acting on their behalf, the buyers going through X, Y, and Z of processes to do everything without anybody from the Ontior board showing up. And I know we've had that on other things before because a prospective buyer wants to know that they're guaranteed they can do it before they go, and they'll foot all the costs of the processes that go along with that. And without Samara here, and without any other further input, besides just seeing this on the agenda, I'm assuming this is why this came up.
Isn't it already in the application?
I thought that it was.
The part that you have notarized,
I thought that it was.
that gives.
I thought that it was.
somebody
So I don't know what process happened here, whether he just came in on his own and said, I'm doing it, or whether or not he had some kind of written letter from her. Once again, I don't know. All I'm seeing is what's written on the agenda here, and I'll address it here soon. That's to my knowledge.
Came in after fall, it was already gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is
So-
now, I heard about that too.
Yes.
Keep going down.
But if you keep going down in that application,
This is John's.
yes, sir, we're just looking for the checkbox.
Right there, where you have
There,
to
go up,
get-
notarization.
I would think at very least, besides the checkbox, there should be some kind of formal notarized letter from the parcel owner as stated, saying this is the person that's gonna handle this
Well, I think
business.
it's right above the notarization, just.
is the owner an elderly person?
Right there, 11. Checkbox.
Elder.
Surveyor, engineer, attorney, architect name, applicable mailing address. Applicant states that that they are the owner and authorized agent for which the foregoing work is proposed to be done, and that they are authorized to perform such work.
I think.
And that's where it gets
once
notarized.
Signed and notarized.
Right.
EDA,
Yeah,
I think so.
so this is what I said to the industrious gentleman. Whether or not that was happening.
So go back to
Right.
160. Jeffrey,
160
yeah, does he have an
I
application
don't
in there?
think he does, but let me
Because
look.
I think the building. Did he know?
No, just a map referral form and the parcel.
Yeah.
No, there's no application.
He expressed that there was much confusion and there was no. I told him it was gonna be a mess. He was trying to push us down the line. Whatever.
We actually,
It all falls back on us now, guys.
are we in a position to make that in July? I mean, it's not.
So all we need to.
I would think that the building department is just looking for input from us. Our opinion, he shouldn't have to make this decision. But that's my thought. If somebody wants to act as an agent, sure, come in with a notarized letter or whatever and sign off.
It's really, I think it's basically writing the application.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people do that all the time. They send in a
Yeah,
engineer.
you
or they send in
engineer.
an architect or whatever on their behalf, and we never even see it.
Precisely.
So it's right, so. I will-
But like I said, that's
talk to
all,
the
I
building
can only
department
assume that this is
tomorrow.
why this is on
Yeah.
our agenda for us to have a discussion.
I'll talk to them tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Great. Next item is, adoption of the January 8th, 2026 meeting minutes. Did everybody have a chance to review them? They are on the drive. My only question on it was, and I will bring you back to the fence variance on, what was that road that we did? Maverick Road, yep. So it was see-through on the bottom 6 feet, and then they were adding, like, we gave them, it was lattice, right?
You said.
So on the meeting minutes, it said the top 1.5 feet will be solid. I remember it being solid, or lattice. It's solid.
Solid as a blueberry.
Yeah.
That's
So that's the only.
And your
qualm I have.
determination said that it was lattice, right? So it's just that in the.
And we
meeting
didn't even give them the 2 feet they asked for, we cut it to 1.5. And they said, oh, it will be like lattice work on the top, and the bottom is completely see-through.
Wire.
So that was my only adjustment to the meeting minutes was on that. I forget what the address was, but yeah, it was, Maverick Road. It just said the top part of the fence is solid.
Okay.
It was.
She's so organized, last month's. Well, they're not in the application. Like, she's so up to date.
I know, isn't it weird?
I know, like, it's gone
The
already.
best secretary we've ever had is the one that's not our
The
actual
one that's not-
secretary.
We've been interviewing, we're working on it.
It seems like
Board
there's a
trial
problem though,
doesn't want her
because
to leave.
we seem to have these people for like 1 month or 2, and
Yeah,
then
we're
what
trying-
happens?
I know, we're
I mean,
trying
are you
to.
guys, pay how much, does the job pay? Obviously, there's,
I have an entire
It's
thought process on that that I'm not even gonna go into because we'll be here for another long time. Okay, so,
For salary, huge in some administration. It was much worse, so really do this.
I would like to make a motion to accept the meetings from the January, or the minutes from the January meeting. With the edit of the text. Second by Alex, all in favor, verbal aye, or show of hands. All board members present in favor, none opposed of accepting minutes with the, edit of the.
Yep, that's amended.
Solid fence, yep. Is there anything else that, anybody would like to bring before the board? I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Seconded by Kara. All those in favor of adjourning, verbal aye, or show of hands. All board members present and opposed. Yep, yeah.